What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the Brown Gent. In this short video, I'm going to make sure that you're able to complete Season 2 of the Metis testnet. So let's get into it. But before we do, just remember, nothing I say here is financial advice. And if you want extra coaching, guidance, and support, we've got the Web3 Secret Society. Check that out in the YouTube membership in the description below. Now, everything I showed today will be linked, but let's get it started by showing you a tweet that came out yesterday regarding Season 2 of Metis, and they finally launched it. For those of you who've done Season 1, you probably remember how brutal it was, but they have some really good changes. The number one change of all being that they've added another RPC provider. That was probably the biggest issue that many people had. The network would go down a ton. I remember I did the first live stream on it and it completely blew up. On top of that, they've also provided more of a guide as well, whereas this sort of gives us an idea of what happened in Season 1, their relevant sort of boosters, which are extra XP points, and then what was coming in Season 2. Mainly Anky, their LSD platform, their spin the wheel, the RPCs, the boosters, and then how to complete Season 2. So if you've watched my previous video on how to do Season 1, you are completely set up to start Season 2. I'm not sure if you're still able to do it. I think it says Season 1 has ended. But the first step, as always, is to when you go to Season 2, you click on the chain button, okay? So when you click on the chain button, it will ask you to switch your MetaMask network. So make sure you connect your wallet and all that. When you click this button, you can't see it, but I've screenshotted this. It will ask you, do you want to switch from Ethereum or whatever mainnet you're on to Andromeda? So make sure you do that. Once you've done that, it'll bring you to a wheel. Now, if you type in one spin, you basically need, you basically need 0.5 Metis per spin. Most people don't have that amount of Metis. I had like trace amounts at the end of Season 1. And you're actually unable to claim some test tokens if you've already done it through the Telegram for Season 1. So if you're joining them in Season 2, I believe you are able to do it, but you still don't get that much. I also don't think it's worth it to buy these spins. You get 100 XP and you get whatever bonuses here. If you are going to do that, make sure you've done the other activity. And the other activity here is Anky. So just like last time, you click on the button, in this case, Anky. It will tell you the 3 different things that you will have to do. The first one is around staking Metis into eMetis. The second is staking eMetis into seMetis. And finally, staking Anky. So what we're going to do is do each of those. So we hit start now. It opens up the Anky protocol. What you can do, the first thing I recommend doing is going to the faucet and now selecting likely Anky first, just because you want to make sure you get that token first. I did it in the opposite way and it screwed up. And let me tell you why. They only allow you a drip once. And for some reason, yesterday at least, if you dripped Metis first, you couldn't get Anky. I had to wait a full day. Hence why this video is coming out a little later. You see here, error only once. So you can only get 0.1 Anky and 0.1 Metis. Do that for each of these. If your wallet is connected, it will automatically populate and you just hit the drip button and you'll get both tokens. It may take a little while to get it. The next step is to go to mint and stake. And it doesn't really matter in the order in which you do these. So one of the things you can do is go to Metis to eMetis. So this is for 1,500 points. My recommendation is always to do the smallest amount possible. You get points for doing this regardless of how much token you put in. So you want to be able to do as much as possible. And the reason for that is repeated actions will still gain you XP. So right now I'm going to click the mint button. And by clicking the mint button, I now approve the transaction. And we're just going to wait for this to go. I'm just going to approve on my hardware device. And just to show you guys, I'm going to scroll I'm going to go back to the community testing page and show you guys. I have 14,501. So once this is done, let's just see what happens when I refresh this here. You see my points went up to 15,626. So I've already gained the 1,500 points when I first did this, but I've gained a bit more by doing this transaction. I can do it again later. Once again, it doesn't matter. You can literally put 0.001, whatever you want. If you do that, you can max out your XP, okay? The next thing as well is now you want to go to stake. So now I had just got eMetis. I will now go from eMetis to seMetis 0.00. Always forget to put a period. 0.001. Hit stake. You hit the buttons here. Yes, I approve. So you approve that happening. Just sort of sign up some transactions. You know, it's so much better of an experience this time than it was when we did this about a week or 2 weeks ago. And for those of you who are kind of like, I don't want to do this, it takes the least amount of time. And I believe they've confirmed there will be rewards for those who do it. So, you know, not a bad way to build up some capital. I'm not by any means recommending that you go out and make 100 wallets. I know some people are doing that. People who do that, though, end up making it so much harder for everybody else. So now I've done this. So I would get the other extra points for doing it in the initiative. But also because I've already done this, let's see if my XP changes again. You see now it's 16,751. So that's 2 of the 3 steps. The last step, you just have to scroll down here, and there's a little spot here for Anky, and you stake Anky over here, 0.001. Let's just do small amounts once again. I've already explained why, but basically you can literally sit here and farm XP. And I don't know why you would go through the hassle of doing all of these boosters on Twitter and trying to do all these like mini things when you can maximize your points here. And yes, repeated interactions, you get 25% less each time, but that's still massive amounts of XP. So don't leave that on the table. It may not just be a sort of exercise completion thing, but it might also be how much XP you got. So that's what we did. We've just done all 3. And once again, the points went up. So that's pretty much it. It's actually pretty cool, right? Like, and if you have some extra spins, you want to do this because you have, 0.5 Metis or whatever to spend, feel free to do it. But pretty simple, right? Like, honestly, much better experience this time. We don't know if there will be a little more activities added later. It doesn't look like it. So with that being said, hey, no need to make the video go out any longer than it needs to be. I want to thank you all for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching.